Devin McCourty becomes a member of the Patriots. What a shot back there. You see young Nick Caserio. You see younger Bill Belichick. There was young Stacey James, younger Bill Robert Kraft in the room. I'm curious, though. Take me inside when you get that phone call, because it sounds like it got raucous at the McCourty draft party once the phone finally rang.
Well, for one, we had way too many people at my house. You know, when you live in the same place for a while, you don't invite anybody, but everybody seems to show up at your house because they think you might get drafted. And I remember going into the draft, you know, like you said, playing at Rutgers, and Coach Schiano was our head coach who loved Bill Belichick. So he spent a good amount of time up in New England, and he would come back with all these sayings and different things from New England. So going into the draft, there was one place I didn't want to get drafted. It was to the New England Patriots. Everything I had heard, I was just like, I don't want to go back and do all of this stuff that I'm doing in college, also in the NFL, because my brother was in Tennessee with Jeff Fisher. He was like, man, it's great. We don't wear pads. Like, the NFL is awesome. So when I do get the call from the Patriots, there was an excitement, but there was also like, damn, what am I in store for? And then to make matters worse, the day before the draft, ESPN calls me and they go, hey, you know, we were supposed to have the in-house camera at your house. Yeah, we're not going to be able to. Like, we got to cut that. No reason, no somebody got sick, no like we're short, man. Just we're done with the camera in your house. So I'm like, oh, damn, I guess I'm not going to get drafted. And then, like you said, that ruckus, we get drafted right after the draft. We do like anybody that gets drafted does. We go to New York City. We go to New York City for the night. I remember I met Willie McGinnis. There's all these draft picks. We're in the city. The next day, I had to go to the airport. Had to fly to Foxborough. Flew to Rhode Island, picked me up in Rhode Island. The next day, one person woke up to take me to the airport. Luckily, my brother's now wife was the only other person to wake up, take me to the airport. This is before Uber and Lyft and all of that stuff. A night of partying. Lucky. That's why she's still my friend. I still like her. Like, not everybody likes their in-laws. Like, you don't always like your sister-in-law, things like that. She'll always be one of my favorites because I would have missed my flight, and I probably wouldn't have been a captain and all of that, the guy who's late for his introductory press conference. But I do remember that when they said my name, there was some cheers, but there was some boos mixed in there, as we talked about before. Not everybody was happy with the guy from Rutgers getting drafted in New England when it happened.
You would have shown up late, and Bill Belichick would have sent you home. Right? Just go. He would have renounced the rights. He would have renounced the rights to the Devin McCourty pick because he showed up late for his introductory press conference. Your sister-in-law saved the day. And, you know, I was thinking earlier as you were saying how when you're having the draft party, people are just going to show up. That's the perfect night to show up at someone's house, unannounced or uninvited, because the last thing your mom's going to worry about, I mean, she's focused on her boy getting drafted. So, yeah, sure, come on in. Oh, it's okay. Leave your shoes on. Like, it's the one night. It's the one night where all the rules get thrown out the window because her main focus is seeing what happens. So, do you remember? Like, I don't even remember how cell phones were at the time. I assume that they at least had a caller ID feature where you could see who was calling, right, on a flip phone or whatever. I don't know, 2010. Like, what was your thought when you looked down and saw that number? Did you know right away what was going on?
Well, the crazy thing is when the number called, I was actually in the bathroom. So my brother answered the phone.
Oh, that's right. I remember this now. He
answers and brings me the phone. But, like, yeah, it was just the area code. So you knew 508. So I knew at that time because, again, you had all of those calls the day before the draft or a few days before of people checking in to see if this was the right number that they had for you. And that's how I knew. Shoot, my brother, the year before when he got drafted, he got called in the 4th round, somebody checking to see if that was his number. Like, why would anybody do that? Why would you call me during the draft to check my number? Guy thought he was getting drafted. Had to still wait 2 more rounds. He wasn't that good in college, though.
Yeah. I'm thinking of that moment when the phone rings and he grabs it. He really could have He really could have stretched it out. He could have just run out of the house with the phone. He could have said all sorts of outlandish stuff. He blew an opportunity that I bet he still wishes today he had taken full advantage of. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.